There are so many people living in the diaspora who are struggling in their various relationships. Now, for instance, you might have a situation where a woman is living with a husband in a different country, a developed country. Let's say they both come from Ghana, which is where I come from too. And then they get to settle in the USA. Most couples are able to make these relationships work. Why they have to make it work is that maybe the guy is the only one working. Let's say they have about 3 children. All these children must go to school, they must eat. If you are fortunate, you can get a public school or government school where you don't have to pay for school fees. However, if you want to take your kids to a private school, then you have to pay for that. But I know most people are in public schools, which is good because the public schools are actually could be better than the private schools. Let me not say they are better than the private schools. Only the public schools are very good schools because the government does take care of things. There are supervisors coming in to check and make sure that people are going through curriculums as they should. Anyway, and so if you have children, you have a husband or a wife, then you must take care of them. And so if it's just the man who is working, then you can see that it becomes a big challenge for this couple. Now, what becomes very challenging is if you're not careful, the lady who gets stuck home also gets stuck in life. There's not much money coming in for the lady to take care of herself when it comes to maybe buying some things that she might need. The lady might have to constantly be going to the husband for money to get things from intimate things, money to buy food for the kids, money for clothing for herself. You just have to keep going to the man or your husband asking for money for things. And if you're not careful and the husband doesn't understand how women's life works, then it's going to become a situation where they're going to start fighting with you. Why? Because they might feel like you are just staying home, the man is the one working, and then you are constantly coming asking for money to go do things. It becomes very troubling, and this also leads to lots of marriages breaking down. And unfortunately for people from Ghana who have moved to developed countries, this doesn't just happen in the US. I'm using the US just as an example, but I know it happens in Germany, it happens in London, it happens in Canada. It happens when people travel to developed countries and the other spouse isn't working. Now, the other thing that also happens is because the man is the one working, they usually don't tell the lady about how much they are earning. And so the lady would assume, since my husband is working and he leaves home, let's say 6 a.m. and comes home about 9 or 10 p.m., it means he's making a lot of money. And this, let's say, is from Sunday to Friday or 7 days a week, But the best way to solve some of these challenges, and let not your wife assume that you're making so much money because you are really not, is to sit down and plan family budgeting, family financial conversations. It's necessary that we sit down and let our wives, our spouses, understand that, okay, I go to work 7 days a week, 6 days a week, which is best because you need at least a day to rest for your soul. Right. And so let the wife know, let the husband know, this is how much I make when I go to work. What I'm not telling you is I have to pay taxes. Let's say you make $1,000 or even $2,000, you might have to pay taxes like $400 or $500, and so now you're left with like $1,005 to work with to pay your rent, which might be about $800, and then you have about $700 to work with for you, your family, to pay for the phone bills, buy electricity or buy energy, gas, pay for trash, people who are cleaning the city, and so the money might not be much as it should, the money might not be much, but because you are not being transparent, because you are not speaking the truth to your wife, because she doesn't know exactly what is happening when you close those doors and step out to go to work, it makes her expect so much from you. This also happens with husbands, with wives who are those earning the bread. What must be happening, or what couples must do, is have these conversations. They are very essential because most marriages amongst Ghanaians that break up, because say bema no akwaji sika or the abafie no odwen say sika na ye ne dia ona ye adwuma nti ona abre nti otua bills na ebi a woto aduane siwa de aka ne nyina ono ne boto nti bia na ode koboa ne busuafo a omo wo fie. And these are the things that causes most relationships to break up, because obano so dwen say ono so atena fie wahwe mofra. And that is the thing. It's necessary that we also identify and realize that the woman staying home and working is a lot of work. Taking care of kids is a lot of work, and so don't assume that because you are out there working, talking to people, or talking to white people, speaking English, means that you're the only one working. The lady taking care of the babies at home is stressed out, having to figure out what to cook that will taste good, because maybe in Chinasa Mokwasa, so let's be understanding, sit down, have a conversation, and then plan. Now, if the man wants to keep the most of the money, it's okay, but let the wife know that this is what we are doing. The best way you can even solve family financial issues is to let the wife keep the money. Believe it or not, the wife will plan, budget, make sure that there's food on the table every day. You wouldn't have to worry. And so plan, calculate the money for rent, money for food, money for kids' clothing, and then maybe some money that you can give to your wife and say, hey, you know what? Because this month I didn't make so much, I'm going to give you like $20 or $50 as a pocket money that you will keep for yourself. This you don't have to budget for. It's also necessary that the men realize that women need these things. There are so many things that women need that we cannot tell or ask for money for. And so if you don't make provision for your wife to be able to find money to use on things that she doesn't have to come and tell you about, then you're going to have challenges in your relationship. Now, some of the things that also happen in marriages and relationships is that because this person, either the wife or the husband, is the one working, the one who is stuck home starts to plan. And they don't plan right. Usually they plan evil. Why I'm saying they plan in evil is that the person is going to say, you know what, because when he was working, when she was working, she made so much money but never gave me a dime to keep for myself. Now that I get to go out to work, I'm going to keep my money. You see? And so this is just the introduction of the Third World War in your relationship. You're going to be fighting over money for the rest of your relationship. That is, if God helps and you don't separate or divorce over the money, then you're constantly going to be fighting. And these are the things, or these are some of the things that you want to avoid. How do you avoid them? By talking, by having a conversation, by planning, by budgeting. Financial issues can be taken care of. And I also believe that everything under the sun does have a solution. Hope you're reaching me. To this point, if you have any questions, kindly go ahead and ask below this video. Also, go ahead and hit on the subscribe button and subscribe to my channel so that each time I upload a video, you can get notification. I really appreciate all of you for joining me. The other thing that also happens with a couple facing problems at home in the diaspora is that disrespect becomes very common. Why? Because this person is asking for money, this person is saying there's no money, then they start fighting. If you didn't have money, how come this, how come that? And if it's the lady who's making the money, there's no way I'm going to give you money for this, for that. I won't give you money for you to give to your family members. And then the husband is building a home in his village, the woman is building a home in her village. You know, until where you sit down with her, where you sit down with her, obiya nim near koso one yonko ekrum and I say ni rekrum and I say ni nikrum. Unfortunately, at some point, why invest so much money, giving so much money to your family members to build a house for you? By the time you go back to Ghana or Nigeria or wherever you're from, you realize the building that you were investing in it's not there. It doesn't exist. Guess what's gonna happen? High blood pressure. High blood pressure is also one of the causes of death, like a leading cause of death amongst people who are grown, especially. If you plan to do anything in your relationship, go ahead and do something that your wife is aware about, your husband is aware about. You can decide, okay, you know what, for the next 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, God willing, I'm going to build a home in my village for my mom and my dad. Now, in the next, after we've done that, then we're going to build some for your mom, and if the understanding of me first, you first doesn't work, then do it 50-50. So we buy 10 blocks, we start building. We're going to buy 10 blocks and start building for you, for me. So you have a plan, so it helps to prevent and minimize the rate at which couples fight over finances. It's a really big thing. Now, the other thing is, because the other spouse is out there working, the other spouse that is at home becomes very lonely. And so loneliness is a big thing. And what happens is they go on social media looking at everybody's pictures, and then they start comparing their lives to someone else's life on social media. I'm not sure who on earth would take a picture that is not nice and put it out there on social media. Everybody feels like you have to put your best out there on social media, and this is a real thing. I know people who will never post a picture until they have tons and tons of makeup on. That's fine. I'm not judging. I'm just saying life no be added to social media. Beautiful. So don't go out there on social media behind your phone and compare your life to someone else's. You don't know what they are dealing with in real life. Everybody is going through some form of a challenge. What you do with a challenge is what makes you stronger, better, and maybe a good Christian. So you're a Christian, it was dealing with some of these things. One also be a picture for it was at the social media. Now Jane say nothing a chess and a warrior and a coswa. Also coach picture for na for better. Na say no more warrior coswa. Any to us, but so say a hat warrior, and I say, no picture for Fefe now would have to hold. And a share near Coso, bravo, if ye ever would dema. Near, never say, we are who we are who baby, said the bay our relationship, no, a bit too pona a conene. Inti and found home to talk ubi, Fritz near a coso, ubi fee. Now, the task of caring for children can be very daunting, and it can be a big challenge. And my feeling like say, Obia and calm, uni waffle, etimima and kofoko into depression. Etimi fan kofo team Emma, omo sebe, omo bobo adam. Inti, if someone is at home caring for kids, wow, ubefia, give them the support. It belongs to single mothers as well, single parents. We all need this support to help in the relationship. If even you are separated and you do have a spouse taking care of kids, show some love, show some support every now and then. Take them out, let the kids go out to parks and play. I know for most Ghanaians, because Ghanaians like to work like 80 hours a week or however many hours a week, we barely have that free time to spare to take care of ourselves, to make our kids happy, but at the end of the day, if you don't make the time to take care of yourself, to enjoy your family, by the time you are old, you've lost all that. You can't make it up, and then then you have nobody rooting for you. So maybe the ultimate is that you might just want to move out or go. And the other thing is, because Ghanaians, we don't like to put our parents in care homes and facilities like that. We try our best to do what we can, but all I'm trying to say is encourage yourselves, take care of each other, be there for each other, take some time if even it's like 2 hours, 3 hours, just to go sit at McDonald's to eat some food. McDonald's have sandwiches at $2, $5, $10. If you are working like 80 hours a week and 60 hours a week, or from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. and even 5 hours a week, a day, and you can buy sandwiches for yourself, then it means you are doing too much. You need help to be able to balance your life, because it's not a helpful life. And wow, you know what I mean. Yeah. And this I'm saying from a good space. You should be able to take care of yourself. Said ye beya sikana winya no nyese unyi wi a na wasande sikani nyina enko ayaresabia ewo bra o usoi sabria na ewo say utimi ehwe ho ye obo ho ban udidi ye udi abenkwan na ochina wadi vegetables bebre afra abenkwan ye. However, fat no etimi equity problems, meaning obia or say and we are the pack, because Dr. Oz, he's this medical doctor in the US. He talks about oil a lot. They call it a discovery, and people have done lots of research into it. You're good for the Ghanaian. However, this lady was drinking lots of palm oil, because what to say, palm oil is very good. Palm oil is good, but it's not meant for you to be drinking. And so that is why I'm saying, eat some palm oil soup, diabenkwine, but fa ehaha manso efra eboa ewo kwan bebre so ehu hia. It takes care of you and your life. Now, let's try and make time to rest. If you have a break at work, instead of going on the phone and talking about someone else, go lie down in your car and then get a nap, or your break room. Just close your eyes, think, pray, talk to God. Let him lead you, let him guide you, let him protect you. And don't spend all your time behind the phone talking about someone else whose pictures you have seen on social media and it's taken out. It you up. Niema na unhu how wafre ubi. Niema enfa unhu sebe. Ubi trying a picture and they are to social media. Just let it be. If you want to watch it, go have a look. Na kowenim. Say yewe here. Any American kowenim. So think about yourself. Pray for your own life. Take good care of yourself. That is what I'm admonishing and I'm encouraging. Ain't say you to quina. We experience so many challenges. I hope that it's helpful. I'm only doing this just so that if somebody doesn't understand tree English completely now, they can still understand English, or tree completely. They can understand tree and understand the English side by side. Hope it's helpful. And if you want me to make a video solely on tree, I will be able to do that, or solely on English, I'll be able to do that as well. And please share this video. You might be helping somebody. Now the other thing is, we don't communicate well. So let's do our best to communicate. Let them know. Don't harbor hatred, harbor hunger, and find enema and show. It eats up space in you. You don't want to live like that. We must learn to let things go, especially if you are the one staying at home taking care of kids, and then you're also thinking you're just going to be doing things wrong, and before you know it, you're going to probably obesoja with the wrong place. So, and then you're going to lead, one thing is going to lead to another. Now, the other challenge that people in the diaspora face, or couples in the diaspora face, is that if they are unable to bring their spouses to join them, then they start dating other women. Well, in order for you to avoid these things, be talking more with your spouse, be talking more with your partners who are outside of the country with you. Go on the phone when you have free time. Bible say, flee, Johnny, Mabwa, Wabremu, Edramaimbo, and all that stuff. Just run. You have to run away from temptation. Don't go play with fire and start running after it starts burning you. Rather, run from everything that looks like fire that could burn you. That way, you don't have to run when it's too late. and then you keep your relationships, keep your brain. Anybody who is spending lots of time cheating has to do a lot of thinking, a lot of planning. They be ana wakoma ebo na usro say, "Hey, achimi ana, asimesi wehuni ami ana," you know, and then we refer kwa na oyam shishu, "Hey, obi akoka bibi ache na ana, ukunu fra na oyam shishu, ade wati bibi inti ana," or say, "Ade mi fra onra na we," or say, "Ade na ubisa mesa." You know, so everything becomes a fight, defensive, argumentative, and anger. Oh, ebufu shisha mumu. Meanwhile, you know, say adibi awoye and yedia, and you know wejai about our relationship. Akosuyi, enti one of those challenges. And if you have a spouse outside of the country with you, or in a different country, say uknu ekase utukwanya kwa brucha. Bompaye, oyi kase utukwanya. Bompaye, ma ukutu jengu fom. Na bompaye, frise, bonsam hoede. In social adults there are all these we call them these days mostly Instagram models. There are all these women just taking pictures and posting on social media, exposing most of their body parts, and it's very tempting to people. And because we are humans, you can't not say when you might see it, but how do you avoid it? Look away, flee, and that is my encouragement. Say, let's do our best to give life our best. If we're able to do that, we're going to be happy and we're going to enjoy the blessings that God has for us outside of our motherland, Ghana. Now, the other thing that comes with one spouse working and the other not working, Eddie or time ni ebufu. O shasi ebe time nipa no say inti me pan why me say seni me bua wo me pra me me ye adwuma nya sika e de ma wo a wetimi aba abrochi na say wona wo ye adwuma na me nya adwuma afi de ene hwede awode ye me. This happens a lot when people travel. Their real selves come out. Umusubai na nkasa pi enya abrochi no besuai sa na ote ewonimu. Unfortunately with not having so much, they were able to control themselves. Now that they have so much, their real selves are showing. How are you going to be able to deal with a person like this? If you need help, talk to counselors, talk to therapists. Go seek help, go seek support, go help each other. Now, be very transparent with your income and we can at the beginning because they're very essential. I'm repeating it. Be very transparent. Talk about how you're going to spend money. Now budget it so that each of you can get some money that when you're spending, you don't have to account for. Intifane say, more budget bills in ebia $100 a bidi kofi jeto ama also j 100 sasika we the audio fire ni aope me be some questions here. That's how it's supposed to be. If you are able to do this, your relationship is really going to grow and do well. Budgeting is essential. That way you don't spend more than you can afford. There are so many beautiful stuff in shops and stores, as you can see in movies and all those places, but cut your coat according to your size. Say we are DBA Ghana all the time. Say and don't spend more than you earn. If you're spending more than you earn, you're doing something really wrong. Just live within your means or even below your means. That way you can be able to save something. Now, be nice in saying no. When you have to say no to your spouse who needs money, say it in a nice way. And can you say, I na mina minko ye juma na mi fasika bro na unko didi any saying any being see any over my dead body. Be nice when you have to say no. Be kind with your words. People are very important. All these little things go a long way to either make or break humans, and you always want to be the best. Give your best to everybody that exists. If you have family who can help you, ask them for help. Ask for advice. Talk to pastors who can help you. Not all pastors can help you. Not all elders can support you. And so if you speak to somebody and all they say is forgive and forget, then you want to go speak to somebody who can really help you find the underlying problems of what you're going through and help you be able to solve it. I'm going to end here. Thank you so much for watching. Please share this video, and for more of such conversations, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and we'll have more of these. Thank you, and I'll see you again, same time, same place, and same space on Finder Seat TV. Oh, lest I forget, for anyone who is looking for a long-term relationship, finderseat.com is the place to be. Check out finderseat.com. You might find a soulmate, somebody you can spend the rest of your life with. Thank you so much, and take good care of yourself. Be well.